So currently I serve as the tour coordinator for Triad Cultural Arts. But a lot of what I've been trying to do is a lot of the programming that's going to go in this space. It's going to become a part of our tours. We're going to use it to teach students who are teaching. And so we wanted to put together a comprehensive curriculum for Winston-Salem, Forsyth County Schools teachers, and then to just infuse this building with that curriculum and help marry what teachers are already teaching with the history that we have and some of the resources that we have, especially in the building itself as a resource. So a lot of that programming initiative has been myself and my team. And you know, we have a capstone student from UNCG working with us, Jasmine. And so us working together, I think we've found a really good way to infuse this place with some history that we think will last. And some things that I think people know and people want to know. What the Shotgun House represents for us is this idea of what Happy Hills was. Happy Hill is the oldest, one of the oldest, if not the oldest, African-American neighborhood in Winston-Salem. And for us here in Winston-Salem, we've got this incredibly unique context. This is the wealthiest city in North Carolina until the Great Depression. The populace of African-American folks, it starts to be about 60% shortly after emancipation. And so in this very wealthy city, this middle-class workforce are going to be African-American folks. Here in Happy Hill, they're actually buying land from folks who formerly enslaved them, what they call across the creek, so across Salem Creek in Salem proper. And so when they start to buy land out here, they're now building this community for themselves. They're sparking out on their own, infusing it with their values, and this is going to be the middle class of Winston-Salem. And so when we talk about that, when we point to this building, Happy Hills comes out of this tradition of enslavement, and then black folks kind of iterating on that and building something for themselves. And it does incredibly well. It does incredibly well. Money is changing hands 12 to 14 times here historically by like the 1920s when we're looking at when these shotgun houses are really coming online. So honestly, it's a remarkable enclave of black folks who are able to sort of chart their own path. And this house tells that story. Both through its architecture, but also through, when we talk about the kitchen, what are people cooking, it tells that story. In the bedroom, and when we talk about what people are believing and how they're praying before bed, it tells that story. How people are just talking together in the living room and what they're talking about, it tells the story of what is the regular folks here in Winston-Salem. Those regular folks here in Winston-Salem just happen to be African American here, and that's because they're the workforce here. And so the people who are building the city, this building houses their history in so many ways. My personal desire, I'll say even outside of professionally, personally, I hope that people desire to reconcile their culture to their larger community. The Moravians helped build Winston-Salem, but so do the folks at Happy Hill. And the black community of Winston-Salem is doing a lot of that manual labor building, but also a lot of innovating in terms of social problems. Black folks are figuring out how do we treat people well in the city. But everybody and every culture here is a cog in what makes this city so wealthy historically, but even now in the modern, so vibrant. And my desire is for this to really help students learn about their history and learn the value of local and public history. My desire is that it helps the black community really celebrate their history in a new kind of way and believe different things are possible. Maybe instead of selling that family house, renovate it, keep it, hold it for the generations to come, and build wealth that way, wealth through history, but also for everybody, black, white, otherwise, men, women, otherwise. My desire is that people begin to reconcile their culture to their larger community and to say, hey, this is what we brought to the table. We celebrate that. We love that. Come understand what we're bringing to the table so that we can commune better. That would be my desire, is to see people commune better through the knowledge of their history rather than to perish because of the lack of knowledge of their history.